Listen, there are no winners in shutdowns. Let's just throw that out the window right away. But there are clearly people who lose more. So there are losers and there are big losers. And let me tell you something. There is no way to put lipstick on this pig. Chucky Schumer just took an L, which stands for a loss, like we haven't seen in my lifetime. I'm 43 years old. I've been following politics intensely for 23 years now. The government shutdowns almost always, the Republicans lose more. Now, Donald Trump, again, I mean, listen, Grant, I'm a big supporter of the president. It's not a secret. But even if you're not, here is another example of the hashtag winning. He won. There's no question he won on this. I mean, the Democrats look like complete total fools. Your opening monologue said it. You know what they got out of this? Zero. The exact same budget the Republicans put out a few days ago.
You know, back in 2013, there was great talk that the Republicans would take a beating in the upcoming election because they shut down the government. The difference here is striking, okay, Dan? Because in 2013, the Republican-led shutdown of the government was based off of principle. It was based off of a negotiating tactic to insist that America goes in the right direction, to insist that is what is best for Americans happens. This shutdown was simply about revenge. It was simply about a whiny little man named Chuck Schumer who was upset that Donald Trump is president. It was simply about sticking it to President Trump and everyone who voted for him. That is not something to be upheld. And I promise you, even Democrats were going to be upset about this at the polls because this didn't hurt anybody. And as you said, Dan, you couldn't have put it better. A big L for Chuck Schumer.
Oh, my gosh, a big L. And even worse, Grant, you know, the Republican, what the media frames as the 2013 Republican shutdown was really an effort by a bunch of constitutional leaders in the Senate on the Republican side who were trying to protect American citizens from what at the time and still now were the devastating impacts of a relatively new Obamacare. People forget the history here. Even worse, Cruz and others who were trying to stop Obamacare from emptying the bank accounts of American citizens gave Democrats multiple options. First, it was the individual mandate. They eventually settled on as simple as, hey, can we just get rid of some of these horrible taxes? And the Democrats said, no, we're just going to give you a bunch of middle fingers, and we're just going to go with it as is. And remember, the Republicans eventually passed a bill, a spending bill, and Obama said we're not going to sign it. Even worse, doubling down on the 2013 shutdown to show you how the media so disingenuously paints these things. World War II memorials were shut down, Grant. Open memorials.
Right.
For people in wheelchairs, World War II vets who had flown across the country, they put barricades up to keep them out. You know what Mick Mulvaney, Trump's OMB director, said with this shutdown? He said, no, this shutdown's going to look totally different. You know why? The American citizens are going to get the services we can provide. We're going to do our best to keep the parks open. And we're not looking to stick it to the American people like Barack Obama did when he weaponized this thing. This is Grant, you and I, one of the benefits we have is we've run for office. We understand this process at the federal level. This is a political loss for the ages. And believe me, the Democrats are going to think long and they're going to deliberate hard before they do this again. This was a catastrophic mistake.